What if I told you that the suffering you feel right now isn't coming from your circumstances, but from something else entirely? Something you have complete control over? Today, I'm going to reveal the profound truth that could completely transform your relationship with pain and struggle forever. We all face challenges. We all experience heartbreak, rejection, and loss. But have you noticed how some people crumble under these pressures, while others somehow use them as fuel to rise higher than before? What separates these two responses isn't luck or privilege. It's something much more powerful, something Carl Jung, one of history's greatest psychologists, understood deeply. Today we will discuss 5 ways to break the chains of suffering and be free forever. 1. The true source of suffering. Think about the most painful experience you've had recently. Now consider this revolutionary idea. Your suffering didn't come from what happened. It came from the story you told yourself about what happened. Jung put it perfectly when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Let me illustrate this with a simple example. Imagine 2 people experiencing the exact same rejection. The first person interprets it as, "This means I'm not good enough. I'll never be loved. I'm destined to be abandoned." The second person thinks, "This simply means this person wasn't meant for me, and now I have space for someone who will truly value me." Same event. 2 completely different interpretations. One leads to profound suffering, the other to liberation. This is the invisible power your mind holds over your experience of reality. The question is, are you using this power to create peace or suffering? Most of us interpret our experiences through the lens of our deepest wounds. If you carry unresolved abandonment issues, you'll see rejection everywhere. If you struggle with insecurity, you'll perceive attacks where there are none. Your perception becomes distorted by what remains unhealed within you. When you believe everything is a tragedy, your life becomes an endless series of misfortunes. But when you believe everything carries a lesson, your life transforms into a journey of constant growth. So how do you begin changing the way you interpret reality? Start by questioning your automatic narratives. Every time something causes you pain, ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this? Is it really as bad as I think? Am I exaggerating the impact? Can I view this experience from another perspective? Find the lesson hidden within the pain. Jung said that what hurts us the most is often what we need to learn the most. If something is making you suffer, ask yourself, what is this experience teaching me about myself? 2. Breaking free from attachment. If there's one thing that keeps people trapped in suffering, it's their need to control the uncontrollable. You want others to act as you expect. You want things to unfold exactly as planned. You want life to align perfectly with your expectations. But here's the raw truth. Life owes you nothing. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you will free yourself from suffering. Jung spoke about how attachment is the root of human suffering. We cling to people, situations, and ideas. And when reality doesn't align with our desires, we feel pain. But this pain doesn't come from life itself. It comes from our resistance to accepting it as it is. The more you try to control, the more you suffer. How many times have you tried to change someone only to be frustrated because they remained the same? How many times have you made detailed plans, and when things didn't go as expected, you were consumed by anxiety? Suffering doesn't come from the event itself. It comes from your struggle against what is. People don't change because you want them to. They change when they decide to. Things don't always go according to plan, but that doesn't mean they can't turn out even better. Uncertainty is a natural part of life. The more you resist it, the more it will hurt. Here's how to begin releasing attachment. Firstly, accept that you don't have control over everything. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much you plan, there will always be things beyond your grasp. Secondly, identify what you can control. You can't control other people, but you can control how you respond to them. You can't control every situation, but you can control how you interpret it. Thirdly, learn to let go without fear. Many times we hold on to things because we believe we need them to be happy. But true happiness doesn't depend on anything external. When you learn to be at peace without clinging to anything, you become unshakable. Try this 1-week challenge. Every time something doesn't go as planned, instead of resisting, say out loud, "This is what it is. I accept it, and I move forward." Whenever you feel the urge to control someone, remind yourself that each person has their own journey. Focus on yours. As you practice this, you'll notice that life becomes much lighter, not because everything is perfect, but because you've finally stopped fighting against the inevitable. If you're finding value in these insights, take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. At Motivation Dose, we're committed to bringing you the psychological tools that can transform your life from the inside out. Subscribe now so you never miss a video that could change everything for you. And if you know someone who's struggling right now, sharing this video could be exactly what they need today. 3. Mastering your emotions. Suffering doesn't only come from external events, but from how you handle what happens within you. Your emotions can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. If you don't learn to control them, they will control you. They'll make you react impulsively and keep you trapped in cycles of pain. But if you master them, you'll become unbreakable. Jung spoke about the shadow, that hidden part of yourself that you repress, because society taught you it was unacceptable. But when you ignore your shadow, it doesn't disappear. It becomes your jailer, controlling you from the depths of your unconscious. However, when you integrate and understand it, you stop being a victim of your own emotions. You realize that you are not your emotions. You are the one who observes them. If you're resonating with these ideas and finding them valuable for your life, I want to invite you to join our community by hitting that like button right now. Your engagement helps these important messages reach more people who need them. Leave a comment below, sharing which insight has impacted you the most so far. The Motivation Dose family is all about supporting each other through life's challenges, and we'd love to have you as part of this journey. Imagine being in the middle of a stormy sea. The waves represent your emotions. If you let yourself be carried away, you'll drown. But if you learn to surf, you'll move with them without being overwhelmed. That's the power of emotional mastery. Anxiety isn't the problem. Your resistance to feeling it is. Fear isn't the enemy. Your interpretation of it is. Sadness isn't the end. It's a signal that something in your life needs attention. To stop being a slave to your emotions, first observe them without identifying with them. When you feel anxiety, fear, or anger, don't react immediately. Instead, pause and observe. Tell yourself, "I'm feeling this, but I'm not this." The moment you separate yourself from the emotion, you take back control. Instead of being carried away by the emotional storm, ask yourself questions. Where is this emotion really coming from? Is it as serious as it seems? What would happen if I didn't react immediately? Your brain is programmed to react based on past experiences. But most emotions aren't caused by what's happening now, but by what the situation reminds you of from your past. Change your internal dialogue. The words you use to talk to yourself shape the intensity of what you feel. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," tell yourself, "This is temporary, and I can manage it." Find the root of your emotions instead of just treating the symptoms. If something repeatedly causes you pain, The problem isn't the situation itself, but what it represents to you. Learn to use conscious breathing to take control. Before reacting, take a deep breath. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. This sends a signal to your brain that there's no real danger, helping you regain clarity. When you learn to manage your emotions instead of letting them control you, people lose the power to manipulate you. Problems no longer overwhelm you. Your mind becomes clearer, and your decisions become more strategic. You experience peace, even in the midst of chaos. 4. Breaking free from the victim mentality. Suffering persists when you cling to the belief that life owes you something, that the world is unfair to you, or that circumstances are against you. This mindset keeps you trapped in a prison of your own making. Jung spoke about the importance of personal responsibility. The moment you stop blaming others and take control of your life is the moment you truly begin to free yourself from suffering. Here's something many people don't want to hear. No one is coming to save you. And while this may sound harsh at first, it's actually a blessing. Because the moment you understand that the power lies within you, you stop depending on external factors to change your life. You no longer need someone else to rescue you, because you can become the person you've been looking for. Waiting for someone to rescue you, for fate to change in your favor, or for things to magically fall into place, is an illusion that only prolongs your suffering. It's not that the world is against you, but as long as you wait for something external to change for you to feel better, you'll remain trapped in frustration. The victim mentality is fueled by 3 main beliefs. 1. I have no control over my life. This belief makes you think your destiny is in the hands of others, or mere luck. 2. The world is unfair to me. This thought convinces you that life owes you something. 3. I need others to recognize or help me. Depending on external approval to feel valuable keeps you powerless. But if you look at people who have transformed their lives, they all share one thing in common. At some point, they stopped waiting and started acting. They didn't cling to the idea that the world owed them something. Instead, they took control and became the protagonists of their own story. To break the victim identity, start by changing your internal narrative. Pay attention to how you talk about your life. Do you say things like, "This always happens to me," or "I never have any luck"? These statements reinforce the idea that you have no power. Change your dialogue to, "I choose how to respond to this. I have the ability to change my situation. My past does not define my future." Take responsibility for what you can control. You can't control others, but you can control how you respond. You can't change the past, but you can decide what to do with it. You can't prevent every obstacle, but you can decide whether you define yourself by your struggles or by how you overcome them. When you stop seeing yourself as a victim and take responsibility for your destiny, you feel more empowered and at peace. Your relationships improve because you no longer depend on others for your happiness. You face challenges with greater resilience. Suffering decreases because you focus on solutions instead of complaints. 5. Finding purpose greater than your pain. Suffering is inevitable in life, but there's a reason why some people seem to endure it with more strength than others. They have a purpose that gives meaning to everything. When you lack a clear purpose, any obstacle feels unbearable. But when you find something that transcends your pain, suffering stops being a punishment and becomes a teacher. Jung spoke of self-realization as the process of integrating all aspects of our being. According to him, suffering isn't something to be avoided at all costs, but rather a signal that there is something within us that needs to be understood, worked through, and transformed. The goal isn't to eliminate pain from life, but to use it as fuel to become stronger and wiser. Think about someone you admire for their strength. Most resilient individuals have gone through difficult times. Yet instead of letting suffering define them, they used it as a catalyst for growth. They found something that gave them a reason to keep moving forward, something that allowed them to find meaning in their experiences. If pain seems overwhelming, ask yourself, how can I use this suffering to learn something about myself? In what areas of my life is this pain pushing me to grow? How can I transform this experience into something that helps others? When you find a purpose greater than your pain, suffering stops being a sentence and becomes a challenge. You stop seeing yourself as a victim and start recognizing yourself as someone with the power to transform their own life. To discover your purpose, identify what ignites your passion. Ask yourself, what activities make you lose track of time? When do you feel most alive? The key lies in what energizes you rather than drains you. Many times our purpose is connected to our wounds. Those who have suffered abandonment may find meaning in helping others heal. Those who have overcome extreme difficulties can inspire people going through similar struggles. When you find something greater than your suffering, you stop seeing pain as a punishment and start perceiving it as an opportunity for transformation. You develop resilience because you understand that every challenge serves a purpose. You feel more connected to life because you're no longer trapped in the role of a victim. Suffering is an inevitable part of life, but it doesn't have to define you. Every wound, every obstacle, and every painful moment is actually a doorway to your evolution. The goal isn't to avoid suffering at all costs, but to learn how to see it through a different lens. The people who have transcended pain didn't do so because they never suffered, but because they found something greater than their suffering. They discovered a purpose, learned to reinterpret their story, and took control of their lives instead of remaining trapped in the role of victims. Jung taught us that self-realization is the process of integrating all aspects of ourselves, including our pain. There is no light without shadow, no growth without challenge, and in that integration lies our true power. If today you feel that suffering is consuming you, remember this: you are not alone, and you are not trapped. Your story doesn't end here. Use your pain as a compass, as fuel to discover who you truly are and what you came to do in this world. In the end, the real question isn't, why is this happening to me? But rather, how can I use this to become the best version of myself? And when you find the answer, pain ceases to be a burden and instead becomes your greatest teacher. Thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, make sure to subscribe to Motivation Dose for more content that will transform your perspective on life's challenges. Hit the like button, share with someone who needs to hear this message, and join our community in the comments below. Together, we can learn to not just endure suffering, but to transcend it.